The craziest meals ever eaten on my 600-pound life. Lock it in.
My 600-pound life, eat some of the craziest meals ever seen on TV, and in this video we're going to break down the most insane, looking at the calories, cost and more, starting with James B, the man who is addicted to getting food deliveries. James's story...
I thought a lot of people on my 600-pound life got food delivered. Because unless they have somebody, usually on these shows, they're so overweight that they can't walk. And they get food delivered unless they have a caretaker that could get it delivered for them.
It was in season 10 of the show.
Do a calorie challenge. I'm going to genuinely predict that this first meal I could not eat in a day. His one meal, I don't think the majority of us would be able to eat in one day. Not like this is he's probably scaling, so it's probably starting like number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And he weighs in at a staggering 625 pounds, which won't come as a surprise when you see what he...
That's lower on the scale for most my 600-pound life. Because it's usually, my 600-pound life isn't usually my 600-pound life. It's like 600 and above, generally. Is there another show that's more than that? Because I feel like we've seen shows where they're like 860, like 900. I think they usually do 600 pounds because that's like kind of like a biological limitation for most people. Like your body structure doesn't usually support more. 1,000-pound sisters, but I think they were each 500 pounds. I don't think they were both 1,000 pounds. They would be dead. But we've seen, I remember, dude, I got high one night and I turned on my 600-pound life, and they just show the surgeries, like, in that show, by the way. Like, they'll just show somebody getting sliced open. And they'll just, like, the doctor will hold up, like, a 30-pound block of fat and be like, this is it. And they'll move, like, abscesses. It is disgusting. I'm not saying the people. I'm saying, like, the watching them have to surgically remove, like, a weird thing you got growing out of your groin. Ugh. No. That or, like, okay, if I'm being honest, when I watched the show, I was looking for the worst of the worst. Because I'm not, like, an avid My 600-Pound Life viewer. So I was looking, I would go through the thumbnails, and I would pick, like, what episodes looked the craziest. And there was one where, like, they would roll the guy over, and there would just be poop, like, all over their butt. And they had, like, bed sores because they can't move. Bro saying, ew. Bro, what do you want me to not? Okay, fine. I won't. We'll just get on with the show. We'll just watch what they eat. I mean, let's be real, dude. It gets that's what they want to show. I know it's for entertainment, and I think that's fucked up, but I think usually, like, the trade-off is, like, they're helping them lose weight. But it's like, dude, you really realize how, like, once you hit that, like, you could see people in your daily life that weigh 400 pounds, 300 pounds, and they're overweight, but they could walk around, they could do stuff. They could, like, you know, they're overweight, possibly obese, but they're able to, like, do shit. But 600 pounds is, like, hard cap. You can't move. Like, you're just bedridden or until you die or lose weight.
He orders in for his breakfast. Obviously, I'm not American, but from the order he places, it sounds like he's ordering from IHOP, and he shares how...
Maybe Denny's. Hey, let me give you the old Denny's order here. We're gonna get a Denny's Grand Slam. I'm gonna get 2 eggs. I'm going to get their breakfast potatoes, turkey, bacon, as well as probably a short stack of pancakes. And that's what I'm at a regular diner for breakfast. I'm getting the classic, right? 2 eggs, potatoes, bacon or sausage. Now I have to get turkey, bacon, turkey sausage, or chicken sausage. I can't get regular. But then I might get a side thing of pancakes, and usually I don't eat all of them. Yeah, and then also on the side, maybe Denny's maple syrup foot job. That's just, you know, that's usually a case-by-case thing on whether or not they offer that, but...
excited he gets...
That one chatter said that shit.
When he orders food.
The amount of stuff that you could get is just crazy, so...
Like, and why do they... Yo, this is what's fucked up. What is this camera angle? Talk about trying to make somebody look morbidly obese. Like, this is a non-flattering angle for anyone. Like, if you could be the most in shape person ever, and if you shot like from down there, you would just be like, oh wow, this is the worst I've ever looked.
I get excited. It's like the Super Bowl. You can get whatever you want now. You understand?
He lists off his massive order of food, which is just an insane amount for an entire family, let alone one man. Some of these items have been removed from the IHOP menu, so we'll be going with the closest item currently on their menu.
All right, can I get the 2 slices of Steakhouse Premium Pancake? Can I get the Game Day Family Feast? Can I get the original French toast?
His first order of Steakhouse Premium Pancakes consists of 2 pancakes with smoked bacon pieces and caramel sauce.
Bro, that kind of sounds gross. That kind of sounds gross. Like, eating the bacon bits are in the pancakes. That's good. I really don't think it is. I like caramel on pancakes. I'm fine with the drizzle. I'm fine with even bacon on the side, but inside the pancakes.
And he orders 2 of these.
2? That's already more than, I would say, 90% of my chat eats in a day. That's 3,200 calories.
He then adds a Game Day Family Feast, which consists of 8
Holy
pancakes,
fuck.
8 bacon strips.
What? He's gonna eat 2 separate pancake meals, and then 8 more pancakes on top of that? Dude, how does your stomach have enough room?
4 servings of scrambled eggs, hash browns, and 8 sausage links. And he isn't done yet. He orders some original French toast and finally 2 slices of ham. In total, this mammoth breakfast comes to $84 and around 7,500 calories. And he hasn't even brushed it.
I could not eat that in a day. I think that alone would be like the challenge. Like I have a day to eat what he eats for breakfast.
His teeth yet. It seems hard to believe that it totals this many calories, but seeing the
Bro, that's really how people get this obese. Like, because this is one meal. I have always said, the more you weigh, the harder it is to maintain that weight. Like, if you eat, say you weigh 180 pounds and you eat 3,000 calories, you're going to gain weight. But if you weigh 600 pounds and you eat 3,000 calories, you're probably going to lose weight. Like, for him to be oh, I got to turn on, I'm not dealing with getting Discord fucking notifications the whole goddamn stream. Why did Brady just start a call with me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Did you call me?
No, you called me.
What the fuck just happened?
Okay, bro, butt dialed me on Discord. I was like, why am I getting that message right now?
amount of food on the table in front of him shows the reality of the situation. The most shocking part about this is that he actually finishes every single item he orders and still wants more.
So when breakfast is over, then
Bro, and I just want to say, on ignoring the rest of everything, drinking 2 full Minute Maid apple juices is horrible for you. That alone is already like 80 to 90 grams of sugar in just one. And it doesn't matter if it's natural sugars. You're just drinking apple juice. It's just all the worst of it in there. And no, it's fruit. Bro, no, that's actually a common misconception. I need you to know that. If you're drinking full pulp orange juice, that's not that bad for you. But if you're drinking like Minute Maid orange juice or apple juice, it's basically the same thing as soda. Yes, it's added sugar versus natural sugar, but everything that's good in the fruit is not in the juice. Because that's why when you drink pulp, it has the the fiber and all the other shit in it. Because it's thick and it's basically just like grinded up oranges. But if you're just juicing fruits, you're eating the worst of it.
I'm already thinking about lunch.
I love pulp. Pulp propaganda? Wait, no, I found my community. Why are there a few chatters right now saying they love pulp? Holy shit. This is the first time I've seen a chat saying they enjoy pulp.
Get full, but it's temporary. Then I'm already back on the phone, looking on what I'm gonna get for lunch.
See, bro, what is this camera angle? They're literally saying, like, how do we make him seem as fat as possible? That's literally what they're going like. Yeah, sorry, we need to set this up. Yeah, let me just get an old junk shot right here.
Now, obviously James needs to change his eating habits quickly if he wants to lose weight. In my newsletter, the Fat Loss Kitchen could be the key for him and anyone else looking to lose weight while
Is this an ad? Oh.
not eating boring meals. Every single Friday, I will send you a recipe for one of
Yeah.
who appears in the same season, shocked viewers with the sheer amount of eggs she uses every single day. Dolly Martinez is someone my subscribers already know all about, as I've just released a video calling her the most immature patient ever on the show, and for good reason, after she moved into a drug den to avoid Dr. Now. But her
What? Moved into a drug den? So she didn't have to go get help?
diet is somehow even more shocking than that.
Why is she even on the show then?
She lives with her best friend Cheyenne, who, to be honest, could
What upsets me is, like, I think TLC sometimes looks for really obese people that clearly don't want help. And, like, I don't know. A lot of the time there are really good transformations, but I feel like half of the people they get are like, no, it's just a thyroid issue. What the fuck just happened? They're like, no, it's just a thyroid issue.
also be a star on the show, and this means that they both indulge each other's bad habits. So when Dolly asks for 15 eggs for breakfast, Cheyenne
15 eggs for breakfast? Bro, wouldn't that start tasting like shit? What's the most eggs you've had in a sitting? I've had like 4. And around the 4th egg, you're like, starting to taste like mush. Maybe 6. I think I've maybe had 6 eggs one time. That's a lot of cholesterol. And it's not bad necessarily, but it's like, you know, you shouldn't be eating that many eggs. A lot of saturated fat, too. Still, though, like on a given breakfast day, I'm eating like maybe 2. I usually eat egg whites. But 15 eggs over a dozen. Like, imagine that just sitting in a big-ass omelet. Ugh. You could slam hard-boiled eggs, though. I could one bite 12 hard-boiled eggs.
didn't bat an eyelid. Obviously, egg prices are insane at the moment in America, with a dozen eggs costing around $5.50. So, on average, the amount of eggs alone probably cost her $7. To make matters worse, a single
Okay, yeah, egg prices are very high today, but it's like eggs are still a lot cheaper than like most other food commodities.
egg has around 70 calories in, and not even taking into account the oil she used for cooking, this is around 1,100 calories worth of egg. And
Bro, she's making one omelet out of scrambled eggs. That is appalling. That, like, dude, it's just gonna be like a cake block of mush.
doesn't stop there, adding as much cheese as she could physically hold into her eggs. Obviously, there's no exact number here as she just gets a fistful, but let's be generous and say that that's 500 grams of cheddar cheese, which would be yet another
No, that was like 10 slices. She did a fistful of cheese.
2,000 calories, bringing breakfast to 3,100 calories. It should come at no surprise then that when she's finally weighed, the scales show a staggering number.
Step down. We're gonna be going to room 5.
How did that happen? It's actually a lot.
And you got to keep in mind too, like height. Like when there's some tall people on this show that are 600 pounds, but they're like 6'3". That's different from like she's probably like 5'5". Like if you're like 5'5" and 5'90", that's like way worse than being like 6 foot 630.
A lot more than I thought I was going to see. There's no way I gained that much. So that makes no sense. That's impossible unless my skill at home must be wrong.
Somehow Dolly thinks that her diet couldn't have brought her to that weight, and Dr. Now was quick to explain how dangerous her situation had become.
Alright, so you are 593 pounds.
Bro, Dr. Now, like, he's likable and hateable at the same time. Because he'll walk in there and be like, okay, well, you're really fat. You're like 600 pounds. You need to lose weight. And then it's like, he doesn't even seem like a doctor sometimes. Like, he'll just say such, like, obvious surface level shit. Where it's just like, yeah, you're obese. Like, and then he'll be like, you need to lose weight. Thanks, Doctor Now.
And you 5'2".
Yes, sir.
So your
She's
BMI
5'2".
is 108. So that's a very high BMI. And your body is under a lot of strain because of that.
And just like Dolly, Maya's body was under a lot of strain too, caused by her addiction to fast food drive-thrus. Maya appeared in season 7 of the show and started her episode weighing over 600 pounds, and it's not hard to see how she got there. Because she's so large, despite being able to walk around and bathe herself, her boyfriend Christian needs to do pretty much everything else for her. This makes her attitude even more frustrating, as she lies to her boyfriend about where she goes during the day.
He doesn't know when I go to get food because I get dressed to go out and I tell him it's for errands.
He knows. He knows you're lying to him. This is so similar to like a family member with alcoholism. Like, so, that's why I always say food addiction so like drugs. Like, yeah, no, he doesn't know. No, they know. No, they know. Like, it's obvious. It's usually very obvious when you're addicted to something. And you, it doesn't matter if you're like, yeah, I'm just going out for errands. No, you're doing crack. Or you're going to drink a fifth of whiskey and you come back hammered. It doesn't matter if you use mouthwash or something. Similar in the same manner, it's like this, where she's like, yeah, he sees that she's eating 2,000 calories with him, but she's fucking 700 pounds. Like, that's not possible unless she's lying to him.
But it's a lie, because the only thing I'm going
How much do you eat? I don't know in a given day. If I had to guess, probably 2,800 to 3,200 calories.
to do is eat.
Maya lies to her boyfriend so she doesn't feel judged and embarrassed about going to multiple drive-thrus. This may sound obvious, but I think it's quite clear that Christian knows she goes to the drive-thrus and just wants to keep the peace. In the car to the drive-thrus, Maya admits that sometimes she will go to 4 places in a row, which is more than most people will go to in an entire month, let alone in a single morning. Her first stop is McDonald's, and her order is mammoth to say the least.
Can I get 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese?
How does she safely drive? Because if she needed to quickly turn the wheel, she wouldn't be able to.
A bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage muffin with egg.
So with her order of 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg and cheese, and a sausage and egg muffin, this brings her calories to start her morning to around 1,200 and costs around $15. But this wasn't enough, and Maya isn't full yet.
There's no words for that feeling when you taste something you love. It's incredible, but it feels like that meal is gone in a second.
I've never heard somebody glaze a fucking sausage, egg, and cheese from McDonald's so hard.
So I move on to the next things I'm craving.
Next, she pulls up to the Arby's drive-thru and puts through another massive order.
Can I get a beef and cheddar sandwich? Jalapeno.
Wow. I going to eating a full breakfast, full meal at McDonald's and going, you know what, I'm gonna go get an Arby's beef and cheddar.
Your roast beef slider and your ultimate BLT sandwich.
With the beef and cheddar sandwich,
Oh! Dude, who eats that? Outside of her, who eats that? I've never, that just you know how, fast food images are supposed to look, immaculate and just, mouth-watering, and then in person they look bad? This is, somebody got paid to make this look presentable, and it still looks gross. So it only is worse in person.
Jalapeno roast beef slider and an ultimate BLT sandwich, which by far has the most
that looks bad. That doesn't look that bad.
Calories of any of her meals this morning. All confirmed, she digs in yet again. She decides to enter a spree of drive-thrus here and finishes her morning having eaten 2,679 calories and having spent $31, which is probably enough to feed 2 or 3 people. I'm going to make a full video on Maya, as her addiction to food was so strong and her relationship with her family was made extremely difficult because of that. So make sure you listen to Dr. Now and subscribe to my channel.
I encourage everybody to
The cameo. Oh my god. Paid him. Does he have a diamond studded? What's on that? That's bedazzled.
Subscribe to the Craig's YouTube channel and enjoy the videos.
Now, although Maya hid her food addiction, Bethany was much more...
Should we do a video where we buy cameos from people? That would be fun. That would be a fun video. We could. I don't know who we would get. I would have to do research on who we want to get cameos from.
brazen about hers, as she has her children bring her a ridiculous amount of fast food to binge on. Bethany's episode starts with her saying she hates her life and she's in constant misery. At 40 years old and over 600 pounds, she needs her 10-year-old daughter to help her get ready for the day. She has another 18-year-old daughter that does cook for her, and she does start by cooking her mother a breakfast of 3 eggs and some toast. This is just a normal breakfast and obviously isn't too crazy. However, Bethany gets hungry during the making of this breakfast, so has a muffin and a bun and a packet of what looks like crackers before she has her breakfast. This is pretty tame as far as 600-pound life breakfasts go though, and the real shocking meal comes later into her episode as she orders a pizza feast all for herself. When her daughters are...
I just think they don't realize, like, it's so sad for the kids to watch this, where, like, you're witnessing your mom go down, like, basically a rabbit hole of, like, addiction, basically. Like, her kid's watching her get more and more overweight. Like, and it's not like, oh, you gained a few pounds. It's like, she can't put her socks on.
arrive home from school, they order a meal consisting of 2 pizzas and a massive box of multiple slices of garlic bread. I try to find a specific restaurant, but not being from America and my knowledge of the fast food chains over there being limited, we have to make some assumptions here. So it looks like 2 large mushroom and pepper pizzas, which would have around 3,000 to 4,000 calories in total. But what really takes the cake is the massive box of cheesy garlic bread she orders for basically all herself.
That's when food became this thing in life.
Bro, that is a whole fucking, that's like a whole frozen box of Texas toast. That is so much. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces of Texas toast.
Like it is now, where I have to have it.
At my count, there's 15 slices there.
I think I could eat that, though. I love garlic bread. Oh, I think I could eat. No, I think I'd get around 5 in, and I'd just be like, I feel like shit.
Life like it is now, where I have to have it.
At my count, there's 15 slices there, and at minimum 350 calories per slice, that totals up to 5,250 calories just on garlic bread. She does give a couple of slices of pizza and a slice of garlic bread to her daughters, but...
And it's just straight carbs. Like, literally just straight carbs.
Not too much, and it looks like it's safe to assume that she ate no less than 8,000 calories in this one meal. She does leave the crusts though, so maybe she saves some.
Do you think they pay them? I wonder how they get money for this. They have to be paying them. Splat for the 3. Greece right now saw a guy who looked exactly like you, freaking out, thinking it was you, and then I realized it was across the planet. Dab for the 3. Paid $7 that I don't have to send you love. Link for the 3. I wanted to tell you how much you mean to me, man. You never judge, and you're funny as fuck. Your philosophy is truly fascinating. Changed my view on life. Thank you for entertaining us and giving happiness to a myriad of individuals. Truly one of a kind. Thank you. Big thank you for the 3. The issue isn't metabolism or thyroid. It's genetic predispositions to lower insulin or high ghrelin. Both are hormones that control hunger. I think it's that, but it's also a mind thing. I don't think it's genetic in the sense of controlling hunger alone. Somebody redeemed that. In that, like, I think that plays a factor similar to, like, a thyroid issue. But when you're eating that much, it's not just, like, genetics. It's like you get put on a trained schedule where you're always eating that much. And almost all the time, people that overweight have always been overweight. It's not like it's not like they were fit and like a D1 athlete and then they hit 35 and it went downhill. Like that happens, but not to the degree that you're 700 pounds. Brock for the 3. I forgive my dad if he's stolen from me. Verbal abuse, I feel bad because he's my dad. Thanks. Shrew me up for the 5. How much would it take for you to fight a dog on your own? No weapons, just fists, and you'd win. Like, to the death, I wouldn't want to kill a dog, but if I was just, like, teleported into a ring, I think I could win. Depends what dog. Pulp was so good, people are whack if they think otherwise. Ajax for the 3, Braxton for the 3. If you're on YouTube, I hope you're having a good day. Mints for the 3. Been watching YouTube for 5 to 6 years, finally able to watch the streams. Hooligan for the 3. Currently have food poisoning. Thanks for keeping me sane. I'm sorry you got food poisoning. Jane, thank you for the 3. I myself am 300 pounds trying to work on an active mechanic, and I started going to the gym. Thanks for the great content. No problem. And I think, you know, yeah, I think you should work on your health. If you want to work out, you want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle, that's great. You're nowhere near the same level as them, right? Like, they're more than 2 of you and probably like shorter than you. Like, that's a big thing. Like, this is like way different than somebody that's just like overweight. Not doing push-ups right now. Chat, refund it. I said it earlier. Oh, punk for the 3. I'm doing distance education. It's basically online. Struggling with mental health. Do you have tips on how to get more out because I hate how I look? What tips on what? Get out more? Oh, tips on going out more? I mean, I don't know. That for like insecurity, I mean, I could tell you that, you know, you just have to be confident in how you perceive yourself alone. You shouldn't really care how people perceive you outside of that. But I don't really know, in all honesty. I don't really have any advice. I'm sorry. Somebody redeemed edible. Can we chill on the channel point redemptions while I read these? Okay, thank you for the 3. This video is pretty boring. You should watch Fires as Static TV. Grant for the 1,300 biddies. SX for the 3. Can you just say the words very hurtful? Jonesy for the 3. Me and my girlfriend bonded over a year, but when we were together, we always watch your streams get stoned. I'm happy to say we have a baby together. Congratulations. I wanted to thank you for bringing our baby Finley into this world. It couldn't have been without you. What? Me and my girlfriend bonded over you before we were together. Watch your streams get stoned. Well, dude, I don't want to take credit for that. That's a fucking congrats. Holy shit. 80 for the 3. I for the 3. Normally watch YouTube, but I wanted to start watching on Twitch. Hope your stream and day goes well. Thank you, Honey, for the 3. I'll stop talking about it. DS for the 3. Join my coworker's Carter was supposed to help. I already read that. Slave for the 3. My mom just beat thyroid cancer. That's awesome. Prince, thank you for the 1,000 biddies. First time today, couldn't decide what to say. I asked ChatGPT to generate a random nerd word flarb noodle. Revenge for the 3. Would be more proud if you mentioned being mentioned by Eminem in a song or being shown in GTA 6. GTA 6. Game for the 3. Now trying to get political. Current state of America is insane. What's your thoughts on the riot stuff? We're watching a video about it later, so wait until then. Mauricio for the 3. You missed my bits previously. Splat for the 3. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to catch up. Bizzle for the 3. I've tried to Google this. How quick you break out after eating red meat is alpha gal. Insanely how long did it take? It's like 6 hours. Super for the 1,000 biddies. How should I quit a bad habit? I keep doing it. Scheduling. You got to have the strength to not do it for 2 weeks, and then you're able to do it because you're in a habit of not doing it. Slave for the 3. I don't know, man. You guys are asking me for advice on a lot of things that you need to get, like, genuine help for. I just want you to know that. Like, I'm here for, like, mental health help and stuff like that. I've been getting more and more, like, questions on, like, hey, how do I quit a bad habit? I can give you generic advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not, like, a self-motivator in that aspect. A lot of that you're going to have to look up yourself. Chowdy, Cheesy, McNay, Eder, Juicy, Obama, Valerie, DJ, Baba, Mix, Math, Tula, Nullet, CJ, Cam, Don Quixote, Grant for the 5 gifted, Cam Formidable, Shane for the sub, Cole, Tree, Grass, and Tricks for the sub, Bomb for the 1,000, but he's been watching for a couple years, about to watch the stream smoke right now. You're one of the persons who care enough for Twitch. I agree with 90% of your views. I say you're not to believe it. Nobody should be idolized to see you as a huge inspiration. Thank you. Lock back in. I'm sorry. I'm spamming through these because I don't want to spend half the stream reading stuff. Edible. Whoever redeemed the edible, I'll do it in like an hour. I'm not doing it right now. If you let me do it in an hour, I'll do it, or you could refund it and possibly redeem it in an hour.
Some calories there.
The only thing that could
lock in. All right, Sir Yappington. I'm trying to thank donos. A lot of big streamers don't thank donos. I try to thank donos. Why do you have so many viewers? It's summer. Summertime, I always get spike because a lot of you guys are bored. I have viewers that watch me as a part of their daily schedule, and then I have a larger portion of viewers that watch me when they're bored. And that's a lot of you guys, where it's like, I have nothing else to do. I'll watch Joe. But for the 3, thanks for getting me through hard times. You really cheer me up when I'm down to myself. I like that you did track in high school. I'm doing long distance. I hated long distance, dude. Oh my God. Running anything over like 200 meters was just ass. And that's not even long distance. Lock in!
to help me escape it was food. So I was just eating my way through life at that time and gaining. So I put on another 100 pounds after that and got up to the 400s by the time I was 15.
Now, like Maya,
she was 400 pounds at 15.
Before Bethany, Karina also tries to hide her food habit, but in a very different way. Featuring in season 6 of the show, and much like the other stars, her first thought every morning is that she survived the night. Her following thought...
I mean, that's me too. Every time I wake up at like, I'll wake up and like take a piss in the middle of the night. I fell asleep. I'm not going to lie. I was so tired and I didn't want to walk to the light switch that I fell asleep with the lights on. And I set an alarm for an hour to wake up to go turn it off. Woke up like 8 hours later. I was like, oh, it's the next day. I'm not dead. I literally was like, I didn't die in my sleep. Because I didn't have dreams that night. And I was like, oh, that was like basically being dead. Like, I was just, there was nothing. I just didn't exist for 8 hours, and now I teleported.
Is wondering what she's going to have for breakfast, which is the sad reality of living with a deep food addiction. She lives with her parents, and the only time she leaves the house is to the grocery store with them, while being carried in the back of their people carrier. But she only does this so she knows her parents are going to buy what she wants from the store.
My parents have to drive me, and I sit in the back of the van on the floor. So they...
I don't know if the government could ever implement something like this, because it would be like kind of fucked up, but there should be like a rule in grocery stores where if like somebody's coming in that's like this overweight and they're like actively trying to buy like 2 liters of soda and Oreos and like cheesecake and other shit, like you just don't sell it to them. Like, you just don't get service. But they would never do that because it's just, like, capitalistic where it's like, we need money. And these people are the ones that make grocery stores the most. Jesus with the 5 says, love your streams, Buff for the 3. Hold up.
They literally had to fold the seats in the van down, put a blanket on the floor.
As she's wheeled around the store, her parents do not question anything she wants. Ice cream, chips, cakes, and more, with nothing being off limits. Even though her parents don't question her meals and know she...
Like, that's fucking crazy. That's what you're getting for, like, a party of people.
...eats a massive amount of food, she still attempts to hide her addiction. When her parents leave for the evening and go to dinner, Karina allows herself to order even more food.
I have 2 medium pizzas with pepperoni and sausage, 1 order of your cheese sticks, 24 honey chipotle wings, and the double chocolate chip brownie.
Delivery or carry out?
This will be for delivery. Thank you.
When the food arrives and is laid out on the bed, Karina rubs her hands together as she looks at the mountain of food in front of her. Starting with the medium pizzas, they probably have at minimum 2,500 calories in them each. And I'm not sure what restaurant she got them from, but if we go off the Papa John's menu, those 24 wings will have another 2,500.
44 grams! That's the worst of it. 44 grams of saturated fat. Oh my God, they're gonna have a heart attack in 3 years.
Calories in them, the majority of the calories coming from the sauce they are in. She tops the meal off with a brownie, with one square having 250 calories, so another 2,250 calories there, and a garlic bread.
Oh my God, and the sodium, dude. Ugh, just be like licking a salt block, eating 3 fucking pizzas.
Which is at minimum 1,000 calories.
Chug a gallon of water after that.
So in this absolute feast, she will devour around 8,250 calories, which explains how her weight has ballooned to this size, and has now meant that her bed needs to be...
How do they Bro, her bed is held up by cinder blocks.
Held up with cinder blocks.
Oh my God. That's nuts that a regular bed frame doesn't hold her. Because like a regular bed frame could hold like 4 people.
It makes me feel...
How do they get money? Because they don't work most of the time. Like, yeah, they might get like disability checks or something, but that's not covering like cost of living. Like, even if you're on welfare, like even if you're getting money from the government, you're not paying rent, electricity, and all this food.
Feel warm and good inside, if only for a short while. But I'm afraid that one day I'm just gonna need too much. I'm probably gonna die from a heart attack, or I'm gonna suffocate. But I can't stop myself.
This somehow wasn't as big as the next patient's meal though, which actually was so large it made headlines in the news. In season 11 of the show, we met Chris, whose legs are so fat that they push against each other, meaning he can barely stand up. Despite this, he can
I mean, he looks the most healthy out of any of the people we've seen.
Take care of himself and do most daily tasks, which includes making his own breakfast.
Like, that's the first vegetables I've seen in this video.
My weight makes it challenging to cook the kind of breakfast that I want. Because of the weight, and the fat in between my legs, I can't stand up straight, so they're constantly pushing apart, which makes it really uncomfortable to stand in the kitchen for a long period of time. So I actually have to sit on a cooler that I sit on when I cook.
This is the scene which made headlines and led to comments such as, "This is my food for an entire week," and honestly, it isn't an exaggeration. Now, it's pretty impossible to track the calories of this meal as he just has a pan full of bacon, another massive pan full of
And bro,
scrambled
he's
eggs.
out of breath sitting still. Like, that's a fucking telltale sign you need to get help.
Sausages in the oven, and of course cheese to melt on top. Chris puts all of these ingredients into a breakfast burrito, of which he makes 12. 12 whole breakfast burritos smothered in sauce.
I make the meal with my stomach, not with my brain, so I have a really big meal, and when I start eating, as soon as I hit that first bite, I eat it all. I call it going red. I can't stop.
He doesn't even take these burritos to a table, and
I do think there is like a genetic factor with that, but it also is highly influenced by just habit.
prefers to eat them at the kitchen bench to allow him to devour them quicker. Although Chris didn't eat a healthy meal, at least he made an effort to cook his food, which can't be said about Holly, who decided on the day before her weigh-in at the doctor's office, she would order a greasy Chinese meal. Now, there's not really an insane amount of food here. Well, maybe it is for the average person.
Dude, I feel like you'd get food poisoning from that.
But the real craziness comes from the timing of...
Like, that shit looks cold. Like, that looks cold.
Greasy Chinese meal. Now, there's not really an insane amount of food here. Well, maybe it is for the average person. But the real craziness comes from the timing of her decision to get this Chinese food, which is obviously extremely high in fat, oil, and salt.
Since we just moved in, we're not really set up to cook. So we're ordering delivery from places around here a lot until we can get some pots and pans and stuff to cook with.
Until we get some pots and pans. You ever heard of Amazon? It fucking takes a day, 2 days, 3 days tops. Unless you live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You order some shit online, it fucking shows up. What do you mean? Oh, well, we just moved in 4 weeks ago, so it's taken us a while to get some pots and pans. What are you fucking ordering them from Temu?
But Ray said he's gonna look for a job tomorrow, and he'll get all that while he's out, and we can start prepping healthy meals.
Holly uses the excuse that she's
you could order healthier food out.
Just moved into her home and she can't afford pots and pans. But looking at the size of her Chinese order, surely that could have been swapped for something healthy and bought some pans to cook with. So she has a massive Chinese meal on the night, knowing full well in the morning she's going for her weigh-in with the doctor, in which she has a goal to lose 50 pounds, and that goes about as well as you're expecting.
I mean, she still lost weight.
I'm really upset, and I don't understand why my progress isn't that good. So I'm shocked and confused and nervous to hear what Dr. Now is gonna say.
She doesn't lose as much weight as Dr. Now was expecting, which caused him to question why she values food.
That was a good video.